Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Project Issy. With Halloween officially over, I thought I'd better post my last video for the spooky season, 2025. Before I start, here is the indoor decor with pieces you might recognise from my previous videos, which I think helps break all the store-bought items, making something that is a little more unique. I especially loved how my lady vampire portrait worked on the side table, and of course the Halloween ornaments from the last video worked well on the dining table. Now for this video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything. From creating a potions box using a cardboard box and polymer clay, upcycling plaster pumpkins, and setting a witch's den for outdoor decor. I've decided that this year I would create a space outside where there would be a table set up with bowls of sweets and candy for trick or treaters. This project would be called the Witch's Den. So, I must admit, while I knew I was doing a witch's den, the table for the den was something I left to the last minute. Here is my last minute plan. First, there will be 3 bowls with 3 different types of treats. I will be using a pumpkin bowl that growls and bites, a skull bowl I had from last year, and then I'm just going to be using a plain bowl from the kitchen. Then there is going to be a sign that reads, "Take one from each bowl." Spoiler alert, not all kids took just one from each bowl. Third, and the first thing I'm going to be starting, are the plaster pumpkins. I will be painting and adding little bits of detail here and there, followed by the potion box, containing 3 glass bottles. The pumpkins were brought from a shop for a couple of dollars. Sadly, they only had the one size. So I added 1 layer of orange paint, making sure I had a good amount of coverage, no white spots. For my inspiration, I remember seeing this pumpkin that had black spots on it online. To create this look, I'm adding texture paste. Once that has dried, I then paint a mixture of copper and orange to create depth. After the paint has dried, use a small detail brush to cover the bumps in black. It is so important to let the paint dry between each stage. Now dry brush on black paint to create shading. I decided to add a few more details. Using a hot glue gun, I added fake leaves and a spider for a spooky finish. Now, the potion box was probably the hardest one to do. It was a complete experiment. Originally, I planned on using a wooden box, but the 3 glass bottles didn't fit, so I found a cardboard box that could work for this project. I first ruled out a 5cm border, then using a craft knife, I cut the sides of the box. For the colour, I created a mixture of violet, purple, silver and black paint, and painted the first layer. However, I realised that the box needed something more to stop it looking like cardboard box, if that makes sense. Using texture paste, I added texture. Once that was dried, I painted another layer. Then it was time to add polymer clay. The design was a mix of vines and leaves. Purple clay was used with a blue-black glitter combo for the feet. I forgot to mention I lined the box with a purple fabric. Then I put the whole box in the oven. Now, this is quite important to note. Please don't leave the oven unattended if you're using a polyester or nylon fabric, or fabric that is not cotton or linen. These fabrics can melt. After that, I dry brushed gold paint for texture and depth. For the glass bottles, I purchased stickers labels from a shop. Then I filled them up with craft items I had laying around. Here is my first layout. This was done the day before Halloween. I wanted to come up with a plan because I knew on the day there would be a mad rush, especially since I had to put up a tent and find fabric to create walls. My pumpkin bowl hadn't arrived yet, so this plastic decoration was a stand-in that day. So I'm going to leave you all with the footage taken on the day of Halloween. Let me tell you, it was so hard setting up. It was windy and I underestimated how long the tent would take. Anyway, thank you for watching. It was so much fun creating Halloween videos. I can't wait to start the Christmas ones. See you next week.